This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel 1970-73 Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler YouTube channel.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the Summer 70-73 Carryover League. We have a series in the American League East tonight between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles. Two very interesting timeline scenarios. The one, Toronto, didn't exist yet. They didn't come into baseball until 1977, making them an expansion team, just like the fictional expansion teams you may have seen. And the Orioles, a veteran of the timeline with a couple World Series appearances and a World Series win. So it should be a pretty one-sided series. Has it been? Well, in one category, it has been, and that is wins. The Orioles are winning. But these Toronto Blue Jays are driving everybody crazy in the American League. Let's go to game number 1. Series opens in Canada. Baltimore at Toronto. Mike Cuellar versus Paul Splittorff. And the Orioles win by a score of 4-2. I could talk about the Orioles, but that's boring. Let's talk about Toronto. Paul Splittorff, stolen away from the Kansas City Royals. 8 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, an unearned run in there. And just, great starting pitching, but the offense just can't do a thing. Mike Cuellar, 8 innings, 2 hits, is pulled. Just has something to do for the Orioles, and it's a 4-2 win in Toronto. So what happens in game 2? Well, the Blue Jays do the same thing. They play tough baseball and lose. Baltimore wins 3-1. Jim Palmer, complete game. But once again, Bill Zepp, whoever that is, played for the Twins. 8 strong innings, only 5 hits and 3 runs. Toronto can pitch, folks. They can play baseball. They're a scrappy bunch. They just are shorthanded. They just don't have the Hall of Famers and All-Stars that the other teams have. But they're certainly capable. It's not like these are, 10-0 bloodbaths or whatever. And so what happens when they go to Baltimore for game 3? You're expecting a blowout, aren't you, folks? Well, no, you don't get it. Final score, Baltimore 2, Toronto 1 in 14 innings. I mean, the Orioles have been put to their paces. Former Oriole, I have to start with Toronto. Former Oriole Tom Phoebus, 9 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. A solo homer by Al Bunbury in 9 innings regulation. And then in the bottom of the 14th inning, the Orioles got a single off the second baseman and a single ... off the third baseman to get their second run of the game. The Oriole bullpen, Dave McNally went 6 2/3 and was pulled. The Oriole bullpen went 7 1/3 innings of relief and did not give up a hit. So we know exactly what is going on, folks. Toronto could not hit a bull in the you-know-what with a shovel. It's plainly obvious, folks. And that's where we're at today in a Game 4 in Baltimore. Expect the Blue Jays to show up, bringing their, their toolbox, their lunch bag and their lunch money, and they're ready to go. They're going to fight. They're not giving up. Today's starting pitchers, oh, by the way, Toronto has to go to their bullpen and bring Ron Klimkowski, their number 5 starter or swing starter, because the good news for Toronto is that they've played the maximum number of games to this point, and they've had to dip into their swing starter. So, yeah, the number 5 starter, Ron Klimkowski. And for the Orioles, they will send Milt Pappas to the mound. Milt Pappas used to be for the Orioles. Then he was on the Cubs. Then he's back. The Orioles have brought back some of the old guys. Kurt Motton was on Seattle last year. He's back. Kurt Blefary was on Arizona. He's back, as is Milt Pappas. Let's get started in Game 4. Do the Orioles get the sweep? And if they do, is it easy or difficult? Or does Toronto magically find an offense? Leading off, Mike Lum. 5-10 off Pappas is a walk. A great start. Nobody in Toronto can steal except for Tommy A.G. That's 5th. Dan Monson, 43. Left X. This is Buford, a 3-4 in left field. And he makes the grab. Milt May, 65, center. And with 2 outs, Jim Brazil, 1-6. Let's take a look at Jim Brazil's card here. Look at this. He was a Atlanta Brave with 85 at-bats in 1972. So naturally he hits a bazillion home runs because he played for the Atlanta Braves. And Toronto snatched him up. And yeah, everyday player with plenty of power. That's a 2-run homer. They had 1 run in 14 innings in Game 3. They had 2 runs in the first inning of Game 4. And a lead. The second lead of the series for the Blue Jays. Tommy A.J. 1-6 homer on a 1. Holy cow, folks. Let's take a look at Tommy A.J.'s card. Look at carefully, folks. 1-6 homer 1. Fly ball to left. All right, now look at the board. There it is, folks. Tommy A.J. It went over the wall. The outstretched glove of Paul Blair. He can't believe it. And it's 3-0 Toronto. You got to be happy. You got to be rooting for these guys, folks. The big bad Orioles against the scrappy underdog, overmatched Toronto Blue Jays here. Bill Voss, 57. Skies are right. Now, what's troublesome for the Orioles is that they don't have much of an offense either, which is fine for this, but when it comes to playing the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox and the Twins and, you know, the star teams in the American League, this is not going to work, folks. Orioles better start figuring out an offense. Let's see what happens today. Don Buford leads off. 45, pops to third. Bobby Grich, 1-3, flies to right. Al Bunbury, 1-6. Let's take a look at the rookie. Al Bunbury's 1973 card. The Orioles moved on from Frank Robinson to create a spot in the outfield for Al Bunbury. And 1-6 is a base hit. Roy Foster, 58, skies the right field. Terry Crowley, 3-10. Okay. Frank Fernandez, 3-6 is a walk. Darrell Cheney, 69, skies the center. And Mike Lum, 2-3. Grounds are short. Expect this to be a briskly played game because they don't hit neither team. Boog Powell, 5-10. Catcher's card. Milt Mays, a 2-6. Makes the play. Paul L.D. Blair, 2-5 short. Johnny Oates, 57, second X. 4-11. Makes the play. Toronto has only a 3-man bullpen because none of their starters can pitch on 3 days rest. And it has not mattered because Splittorff, Phoebus, and Zepp have all pitched into the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Remarkable run of success for Toronto's pitching. Here's Dan Monzon. 2-7 is a walk. Milt May, 2-10 is a 1. 6-3. Double play. Jim Brazil again. 48 is a single. Tommy A.G. 2-7 is a single. Brazil and A.G. are 4 for 4. And with 2 on and 2 outs, it's Bill Voss. 57. This guy's right. Bottom of the third. Brooks Robinson, 110. Flies left. Kurt Blefary, 210. Flies right. And Don Buford, 68. Pops to second base. We go to the fourth. Terry Crowley, 66, pops to first. Former Oriole. Frank Fernandez, 65. Skies the center. And Darrell Cheney, 2-5 single. We go back up top with Mike Lum. 37 Lum, double 1 to 5, single dot dot, and with 2 outs, Toronto. They did some damage in the first with 2 outs. Dan Monzon, 55 off Pappas is short X. This is Bobby Grich short. He's a 3, E26, and he makes the play. On the 4th. Bobby Grich, 52, left. Al Bunbury, 68, pops to second. Roy Foster, 67, pops to first. Another great start for Toronto pitcher. 4 shutout innings for Ron Klimkowski. Milt May, 37, single. Brazil, 57, finally gets out. This guy's all right. AG, 310. Case, he finally gets out. Bill Voss, 56, short X. And that is a ground out. So Pappas starts to settle down now. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Here we are, in the bottom of the 5th, down by 3. Hey, you're Boog Pal, 1-4, skies to right. Paul L.D. Blair, 310, skies to left. Mercy Oates and Johnny Oates, 48. Oh my God, a walk off the Klimkowski card. Brooks Robinson, 45, pops to short. Oh my, 3-zip in the 6th inning. Terry Crowley, 64, catcher's card. This is Oates, a 3-4. Makes the play. Frank Fernandez, 39, base hit. Darrell Cheney, 59, second C, running in scoring position. For the Lumber, Mike Lum, 34, grounds to third. Bottom of the 6th, Ron Klimkowski. Who? Sailing along. Kurt Blefrey, 65, skies to center. Don Buford, 1-7, K, and with 2 outs, Bobby Grich, 5-12, second X. Monzon's a 4-11. Makes the play. A 1-hitter shutout for Ron Klimkowski. Here's his numbers, folks. He was a Yankee in 1970, was 6-7 with a 2.66 ERA in this fine card as you're seeing. Toronto has quality pitching. Matter of fact, if you put this Toronto pitching staff on like the Cincinnati Reds, maybe, wow, you might actually have something there. This Toronto team is, I know nobody can pitch on 3 days rest, but they're all really good pitchers. They all have ERAs below 3. Well, Zep's 307, but you get the idea. All right, top of the 7th, 3-0, Dan Monzon, 67 is a K. Milt May, 310, flies right. And Brazil, 47, double 1 to 12 is a double. And with 2 outs, it's Tommy A.G., the star of the Blue Jays, the former Met with that World Series ring of his. 2-7 A.G., base hit to left field. Brazil, a 12 runner. 13-14 runner against Buford. He's going to run, and he's thrown out on an 18. A tough break. You got to love the fight, though. He tried to score, make it 4-zip, but he got nipped by a nice throw by Don Buford. Do the Blue Jays have any more defense to bring in? And the answer is no. Well, yes, they do. They can bring Tim Foley into play shortstop, and they will. How about Darrell Cheney? Can he go somewhere? Well, you can take Brazil out. Is actually, there you go. Put Cheney at third base where he's a 3, and put Foley at short where he's a 2, and Brazil will leave the game where he can't field very well. Okay, stretch time in Baltimore. Astonishingly, down 3-0 to the Blue Jays. We have been listening to Crack the Sky, a band played in Maryland during the 1970s with their Crack the Sky debut LP of 1975. Similar timeline, not quite this early, but you get the idea. Bottom of the 7th, Ron Klimkowski is a relief 3, starter 7. This is his breaking inning. They have an outstanding all-star closer in Joe Grisenda, who will most likely pitch at some point. you would think. Trying to win a baseball game. Here's Al Bunbury. 5'11", grounds to short. This is Foley, the new shortstop. It's a 2E44, has the range. When he gets to it, we don't know. Makes the play. Hats off to Roy Foster. 48, bounces to second base. Monzon is a 4E11 at second, and that's going to be a single. Hey, you're Boog Powell. 56. Finally, a hit off of the Klimkowski card. My goodness. Double on the 4, single not dot. It is a single not dot. You got runners with the corners. One more base runner breaks Klimkowski. It's Paul Blair. They got to bring it up. He's an 8-bunter. That's a ripoff, but that's the way it's played. All right. Paul Blair. The pitch to Paul. 57 is a pop to third. And with 2 outs, Mears Oates and Johnny Oates. Let's take a look at Johnny's card. Johnny Oates would eventually manage the Orioles in the 1990s. Runners in the corners, 2 outs. The pitch to Johnny Oates. 37 is a strikeout. This is Ron Klimkowski's world. Folks, we're just living in it. That's all we're doing. We go to the 8th inning. The Orioles, again, being embarrassed with their pathetic offense by the Blue Jays, even though they've won three games. They have yet to score more than 4 in any of these games. Milt Pappas is like, dude, seriously, I should have stayed with the Cubs. I know the Cubs would have given me 4, 5, 6 runs. But no, he's not a Cub anymore. So, all right, top of the 8th. It will be Bill Voss leading it off. 2 base runners will break Pappas. But the bullpen is a little bit stretched after the 14 inning game number 3. So we'll see how this goes. Bill Voss. 311 pops to second. Terry Crowley, 65, skies the center. Frank Fernandez, 43, flies to left field. Buford's a 3E4, and he makes the catch. What a day for Milt Pappas, really. It's been, a homer 1 by AG. Brazil did hit a legitimate 2-run homer. But here, this is where we're at, folks. Klimkowski continues into the 8th. Now 2 base runners will break him. And leading off will be... Hang on one second. Leading off in the bottom of the 8th will be Brooks Robinson. 6'11". First X. This is Terry Crowley, a 4E15 at first base. Made a big base hit in game 3 to cost them. And another base hit off the first baseman. Now you got Kurt Blefary. He will hit away. 2-7 for Blefary. Single 1 to 12. Line out to second. He gets the single on a 6. And ladies and gentlemen, that will break the shutout throwing Ron Klimkowski. Boy, what a tough situation this is for a team who has not won a baseball game in quite some time. A broken pitcher with a shutout. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at this, they do not hesitate. They're going to go to their all-star, because that's what you do. You go to the best player on your team, and that would be Joe Grisenda, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at Joe. He went to the All-Star game last year for the Blue Jays. This is a magnificent card for the Washington Senators in 1971, 5-2 with a 1.93 ERA. Again, another fantastic sparkling ERA for a Toronto player. And they didn't even play, again, they didn't even play during this era. They just collected extra guys from other teams that were unprotected. So here we are in the 8th. Runners at first and second. Joe Grisenda in the 8th. And while we're doing this, we're going to have Davey Johnson running for Blefary and playing second base. And so Brooks is at second, Davey Johnson's at first, and Grisenda will face Don Buford. With 2 on and nobody out. The pitch to Don Buford. 6-10 off Grisenda. Short X. Here we go with Foley. A 2E44. And that's a double play. A 6-4-3 double play. Our runner goes to third with 2 outs. And it's Bobby Grich. 46, Bobby Grich, single 1 to 16 off Grisenda. He gets it, and that's an RBI single, and it's a 3-1 game. And with 2 outs, it's Bunbury. And what they could do here, and they will, because they don't think they'll pull Grisenda. Batting for Bunbury will be Kurt Mutton. Let's take a look at Kurt. Hits lefties, not righties, but they're pretty confident that Grisenda's not going anywhere, particularly since Ellsworth and Hennigan pitched extensively in Game 3. So Grich is on at first in a 3-1 game. He's being held on, and it's Kurt Mutton. The pitch to Kurt. 2-11 is a grounder to short. And the Blue Jays hold the lead 3-1 into the 9th. Milt Pappas is like, I'll just keep pitching. I'll pitch as long, I ain't going anywhere. So he's out there in the 9th because he hasn't got any support. Daryl Cheney, 47, double 1 to 12 is a double. Mike Long. The Blue Jays aren't a team that's going to scare you with offense. 49, single 1 to 6, and he missed it with an 18. Dan Monson, 63. Pitcher X. Pappas is a E0, so I don't roll E0 home pitchers. It's an out. Only road E0s do I roll. And it's Milt May. Speeds up the game. 2-5, grounds a second. Another home field advantage. Home field advantage is sprinkled through a bunch of different categories to make up one generally big home field advantage. So, it stays 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th. Joe Grisenda, the all-star closer of Toronto, against Roy Foster, Boog Powell, and Paul Blair in the 9th. Here is Roy Foster. 58, skies to center field. Boog Powell, let's show his card. He's only your 1970 American League Most Valuable Player. Surely he should be able to get on against the fictional baseball team. The pitch to Boog Powell. 35, single 1 to 6, and he cannot get it. He lines out at a 19. And with 2 outs, they can't even get the tie run to plate in the 9th inning. Unbelievable. Let's show you Paul Blair, his 1970 card with 18 homers and a 267 batting average. Needs to get on base so the Orioles can send the tie run to the plate. The pitch to Paul Blair. 37 is a single. Now, as an ace stealer, he will run to second base without a throw, so he's not being held on since his run doesn't tie the game. And with 2 outs, batting for Johnny Oates will be Andy Etchebarren. Let's take a look at Andy Etchebarren here. Has some power. As the platoon catcher in the tie run, can the Toronto Blue Jays get a win? More importantly, a road win, which is very impressive, against a team who won the World Series 2 years ago. The pitch to Andy Etchebarren. 63 off Grisenda. Second X, but he's a 4E11. Need a defensive play out of their second baseman, and they don't get it. It is a single ... So that does score Blair. Not a big deal, though. Makes it 3-2. Etchebarren's at first. And Grisenda's a relief 3, so he's not broken. And it's going to be now Brooks Robinson. Let's take a look at Brooks Robinson's card. Similar amount of homers against lefties and righties. Not a big deal again. And Grisenda's a tough dude here. And plus, Etchebarren is slow-footed at first base, so you're not going to score him with a double, I don't think. He's a 1-10 runner. So in a 3-2 game, it's up to Brooksy to hit one out of Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Runner at first. 2 outs. The pitch to Brooks Robinson. 1-2 for Brooksy is a foul out to a catcher. And that is your ball game. The Toronto Blue Jays have won a baseball game, folks. 3-2. Can't wait to do the stats to see what the team batting averages are after this debacle. Baltimore cannot get a sweep on the Blue Jays. Milt Pappas, 9 innings. Gave up 11 hits and 3 runs all in the first inning that were all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. 3s are wild. Complete game. Grisenda gets a save. Comes on in the 8th. Gets a double play ball to Buford. A single and an out. So you have a hit in that inning. then 2 hits, a run in the 9th inning. So 3 hits total and a run. Klimkowski gets the win. 5 hits and a run. Brilliant performance from your number 5 starter relief pitcher. A walk and 2 strikeouts. 1019, 0109, 31128, 31128, 31128, 331212. Well, there it is, folks. We'll get you to the box. The Orioles have one more chance to win this series at home. 4-1. And they'll have Mike Cuellar on the mound attempting that, so I like their odds against former Oriole Doyle Alexander. Again, a lot of Oriole players are on other baseball teams. So here we are, year to date. Baltimore is now 6-2. They are hitting .226 as a club with a 2.10 ERA. That is horrible. Well, the pitching is fantastic. The hitting is ridiculous. I mean, guys like Boog Powell, I mean, he was the MVP of the league. What is he? He's 5 for 30. The great Boog Powell is hitting 167. That's not going to win you an MVP. How about the Toronto Blue Jays? The plucky Blue Jays, folks. They are 3-6, mucking it up in the East. They're hitting .230, better than the Orioles, with a 2.74 ERA. By the way, this division is pitching lights out. The Yankees are hitting .210. Boston's at .291. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, back to Toronto. 3-6, hitting .230 with a 2.74 ERA. We have played 135 games thus far this year, and we are down to hitting .261 as a league with a 3.75 ERA. We will post the results of the rest of this series at the end of the video. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you next time.